I think it's safe to say that Belgium have had a very mixed result in the early stages of Euro 2024. Drawing one, losing one, and winning just one game, getting through to the knockout stages on 4 points. The team as a whole have not looked at their best, and you do hope that as the competition progresses, Belgium tend to find some form. Here's how you can successfully replicate Belgium's Euro 2024 tactics in FC24. So during the qualifiers, Tedesco deployed multiple different formations and lineups. Now, essentially, during the opening stages of Euro 2024, he has stuck to a 4-3-3 formation or a 4-2-1-3 formation, depending on how you see it, with 2 central midfielders, being the likes of Tielemans as well as Onana, and having a very strong and sturdy back 4. Now, essentially, this back 4 will more or less resemble a back 3 at times, allowing the likes of the right back and Castagna to bomb forward, and at times you will see the likes of, I think it's pronounced Theets or Tates, however you want to pronounce it. He will tend to operate almost as a third centre back in certain moments. So the formation does tend to alternate its shape and style of play in certain moments. The tactical approach of Domenico Tedesco is very similar to various other tactical formations that we have done in the past. The defense will be set to pressure on heavy touch, as well as maintaining a 30 team width and of course a 60 team depth. Now, essentially, they do implement a slightly higher mid block that can essentially help them in possession of the ball, whilst also looking to implement a slightly more narrow defensive structure, looking to compact in the central zones, deter the opposition from trying to generate offensive rhythm in those central areas, and force them out wide to try and play in the hands of your defensive wider players. And of course, every now and then you do see this Belgium side occasionally press and probe the opposition's backline, force a few errors, and if those errors do lead to turnovers, those turnovers can lead to counter-attacking opportunities for your side. Domenico Tedesco does require a lot of movement when in possession of the ball, having the likes of Lukaku, peeling off the back line, drifting into those wider spaces, having Kevin De Bruyne operating either in the half spaces or slightly out wide. You also want your wingers to be very involved in attacking the flanks. So the offensive build-up play should be set to slow build-up, paired up with the chance creation being set to forward runs. This will effectively allow your players to have that free roaming movement and also look to try and overload the opposition high up the field. You will see your midfielders getting nice and high and involved in the attacks, as well as your fullbacks at times looking to overload and overwhelm. The build-up play will be set to slow build-up, as you will often see Belgium try and dominate the opposition, looking to control the phases of play, looking to control the game, building out very effectively from the back at times, and having a lot of movements in and around them does allow your team to more or less dictate in that final third area, because you will have a lot of players looking to attack the box. The team's width will be set to 50, maintaining a nice balanced approach, allowing you to attack from all areas of the field, whether it's crossing the ball into the box from one of your wider players or stemming a few passes in the central zones and then looking to create for one of your forward attackers. You will also see that the players in the box should be set to 7, committing at least 3 to 4 players in the attacking zones, waiting for the crosses or the cutbacks, and trying to generate a bit more space around the likes of Romelu Lukaku, because of course he is the focus of this attacking outlet. And then finally, of course, as always, the corners and the free kicks should be set to 4. Now onto the individual player roles, starting off at the front yet again. I do quite like mixing it up like this, but the likes of Romelu Lukaku will be set to having a balanced width. This will allow him to successfully be able to peel off the opposition's backline, drift into those open spaces, or potentially act as the focal point in the central zones. You want to give him this mixed ability to either drift or stay central. The most important thing that we have seen with Lukaku is, yes, he is a more physical target man type player, but he can also look to make those runs in behind. And like I said, you want to have a lot of forward movements in this side, looking for the likes of a Kevin De Bruyne or a Tielemans to get on the ball and try and, spray those passes further forward, with Lukaku being one of the key figures in that forward movement. Now, the interception should be set to normal, as the likes of Lukaku can press every now and then, and he does tend to lead the press successfully when the side do, exact their aggressive nature on the opposition. And then finally, the defensive support should be set to stay forward. Like I said earlier, Lukaku does possess a lot of physicality. He can hold the ball up very nicely and very effectively, and therefore he can be a good offensive outlet for a potential counter-attack. Out wide to your left winger, now this could be Doku, or potentially it could be a Luka Bacchio, depending on who you want to go with. Now, I know that Luka Bacchio did start on the right-hand side, but Luka Bacchio and Doku do tend to have very similar roles and instructions compared to the likes of Trossard. Now, essentially, you want both of your wingers to be able to drop back and help defend in those wider spaces, especially if you are looking to try and flood the opposition into those wider channels. The chance creation for Doku should be set to stay wide. You do see him operating quite a bit in those wider channels, looking to try and take on his man in a 1v1 situation, trying to isolate himself more times than not, and also looking to provide a lot of the width down the left-hand channel, especially with the left back not always being able to progress further forward. The support runs will be set to maintaining a balanced support. Now, this can allow him to break in behind and be that penetrating runner from that wider left space, or he can look to drop a bit, central, combine very effectively with the other midfielders, or even have the ability to hold up the ball. Now, essentially, this is more of a Luka Bacchio type style of play because he does possess a bit more physicality, but Jeremy Doku does also have these little moments of brilliance where he can hold the ball up and link it up very effectively with the players in and around him. Now, essentially, the interception should also be set to normal, but he can also see him aggressively pressing every now and then. And of course, the support on crosses should be set to balanced. Now, onto the right wing position. Now, Trossard does have a slightly different role compared to Doku and Luka Bacchio. So, essentially, he'll be set to come back on defense, always looking to try and help out the right back in those defensive situations, but also your right back will be more attacking of the two fullbacks. So, you want a bit more defensive coverage for your attacking fullback. The chance creation will be set to maintaining a balance with allowing him to drift inside, not always holding the touchline width as much, and especially looking to combine very effectively with the attacking fullback. But at the same time, he does look to come inside and attack the half spaces, combining very effectively at times with Kevin De Bruyne, looking to be in the vicinity of the striker, play almost as a secondary number 10, and you do tend to see this quite effectively, might I say. The support runs, just like with Doku, will also be set to maintaining a balanced role, where he can look to penetrate from behind, making those aggressive attacking runs, or potentially be a bit more of a passing option, you could say, in those central zones. And then effectively, he'll be set to normal interceptions, but the change that we do see from the likes of Doku compared to Trossard is you want Trossard as much as possible involved in those central attacking areas, looking to arc his runs into the box and pose as an offensive threat for a potential cross or a cutback. The role of Kevin De Bruyne is seen as the facilitator, the chief creator of this Belgium side. You'll see him all over the field looking to operate in the half spaces out wide, facilitating crossing movements, looking to stay on the edge of the area and try and, work the ball into the box for the likes of a Lukaku, a Doku, or a Trossard, or one of your other attackers potentially. But you also want him to be able to drop back. You want him to be able to link the play between Tielemans and Onana and, of course, your front three. So he will be instructed to drop back and help support the defense, but it also will give him a more natural, defensive, deeper attacking start, you could say. Now, the support on crosses, I have seen that some people have put it on get into the box. Now, essentially, that is not what De Bruyne is all about. He does tend to, stay on the edge of the area, facilitates offensive movements, rotate the ball, looking to work the ball into the box. And yes, he can be in that attacking zone every now and then. And you do see him very much so in the attacking zones with it being set to balance. But you also want to have a nice happy medium between having him in the box and having him on the edge of the area. Now, this will be a key element to De Bruyne's outlets in this side, looking to operate either down the left half space or the right, looking to facilitate and attack those, slightly wider spaces just in and around the striker. But at the same time as well, especially down the right-hand side, I did notice it quite a bit. He does tend to interchange very nicely with the likes of Leandro Trossard. And then finally, you want his interceptions to be set to normal. The role of Tielemans will be seen as a bit more of a box-to-box player, looking to help out on the defensive end, but also on the odd occasion venture further forward and be very involved in the final third build-up play. So you also want him to be able to stay on the edge of the box, looking to help link up with the role of Kevin De Bruyne, as well as the interception should be set to normal, and then you want him to cover the wing and have that free roaming role. This will help him drop a bit deeper at times, show for the ball with those first phase build-up play, as well as be able to get further up the field and more or less fits in wherever the offense needs him to be. Amadou Onana in this system will be set to stay back while attacking. Now, he can venture forward, and we have seen him have a nice mixed role. And because he is set to being a central midfielder, you will see him at times operate slightly higher up the field and be very involved in the edge of the area attacking movements. The support on crosses will be set to maintaining a balanced crossing run, and he doesn't always get into the box, but every now and then you do see him make that attacking run a bit deeper into the attacking zones, as well as the interception should be set to aggressive, paired up with cover the wing and stick to position. As mentioned, your two fullbacks do have similar roles, but slightly different. One will be slightly more attacking than the other, and that is the likes of Timothy Castagna, looking to join the attack as much as possible down the right-hand flank, bomb forward and link up the play quite nicely with the likes of a Kevin De Bruyne, as well as a Leandro Trossard. And when he does get forward, you want him to be holding the width down the right-hand side, so he will also be set to overlap. This way he can facilitate crossing or cutback opportunities for the attackers. The likes of your left back in Theet, I think it's Arthur Theet, I could be wrong, but he will be set to maintaining a balanced attacking support. So now this essentially will help formulate that back three, showing a bit more of a defensive awareness down the left-hand channel, as well as when he does eventually inevitably get forward, because with the forward runs, it does encourage your left back, or your fullbacks, I should say, to get forward and attack at times. So when he does get forward, he will also look to operate in that wider space, facilitating crossing and cutback opportunities. The centre-back pairing of Vertonghen as well as FaZe. Now, essentially, the only change that I have made is Vertonghen being set to conservative interceptions, more or less making him the cover centre-back of the two. You still want the likes of whilst FaZe to be a bit more aggressive at times, looking to step out and impose himself a bit more on the opposition, whereas Vertonghen will look to stay on the back line, cover for the potential spaces that FaZe might leave him behind him, and making sure that he's trying to sniff out any potential attacking awareness from the opposition. Now, essentially, both of these players are quite good at being able to play out from the back in that first phase. They are going to be very, very important, looking to show for the ball for those shorter passes, and then also being able to play it out from the back successfully, either into the midfield or further forward into the strikers. And then finally, as for your goalkeeper in Castells, of course, replacing Thibaut Courtois. Courtois fell out with the manager, crazy scenes. But anyways, Castells will be set to come for crosses. He's quite good at being able to alleviate the stress and the pressure on the backline, being very physically dominant in the air and looking to try and, like I say, alleviate the stress on the likes of Vertonghen and FaZe by claiming those aerial balls. Now, also, you want him to be a sweeper keeper. You aren't playing the highest of lines, but you would want and require him to more or less be able to sweep up just in behind your backline, as well as also being able to initiate that first phase builder play, looking to successfully establish an offensive platform for this Belgium side to build up off of. And that is how I would successfully implement and recreate Domenico Tedesco's Belgium Euro 2024 tactics into FC24. I hope you guys have enjoyed the tactics, the video, and all that good stuff. If you don't mind showing some support for the channel, smashing that like button, as well as subscribing. If you are watching the videos and you're not subscribed, what the hell are you doing? We are on the road to 10,000 subscribers, so I would appreciate it very, very much if you are watching the videos and you like the channel and you like the content and you like everything about it. Please hit that big red button. It would be absolutely essential for us to, hitting our target of 10,000 subscribers. That is an absolute insane amount. Honestly, it is. Comment down below as well if you like the tactics, what you found with the various different, players in and out of the formation and all that good stuff. You guys can let me know down below in the comment section. Whilst you are there, hit that big red button and all that good stuff. And let me know the rating that you would give this tactical setup from Domenico Tedesco. For me personally, I would give it a 7.5. I do like it a lot. There are a few defensive flaws in the system as a whole, but every system has its flaws. I do like the attacking fluidity at times, especially down the left-hand channel with Doku looking to operate slightly wider. I do tend to find myself attacking a lot more down the left-hand space, whereas Trossard does tend to combine quite nicely with Kevin De Bruyne and all that good stuff. But anyways, you guys will let me know down below. Whilst you are there as well, we have a Discord, the Brom Squad Gaming Discord server. If you guys are interested in football, chats and talk and all that good stuff, I'm talking FC24 tactics, I'm talking, club football tactics, I'm talking all that good stuff. We discussed it all on the Discord server. So if you have Discord and you would like to join up, please, it's free. You're welcome to join, and I would welcome you with open arms. So yes. Anyways, until the next one, until the next time, which will be tomorrow, I hope you guys have a goddamn smashing day, and I'm out of here. Peace.